we are going back on this and making it even a worse understanding than it was since the days of Vatican II. The misunderstanding, it goes back to the classic issue of misrepresentation and misunderstanding. At no point can we claim that the Muslim God of Allah is the same God that we worship. There's even confusion in the written catechism of how it's stated. The point is that our God is a God that condescended. Put it this way, the God of Islam, Allah, would never condescend to become one of us, would never become one of us. Our God is a personal God. Theirs is not. Their God would never condescend to become one of us. Ours did. And to try to put this on level playing field is heretical. We just can't do that. And this is what's been happening in the name of tolerance, is this opening to, well, we can't proselytize. Proselytizing has become an evil word. It's all in the name of tolerance. But even Nostra Aetate, that says it recognizes truths in religion, even Vatican II itself said, while other religions have partial truth or a remnant, some of the truth, only the Catholic faith has the fullness of the truth. And that's Vatican II itself that is making such a statement. So I'm not sure why now that we are going back on this and making it even a worse understanding than it was since the days of Vatican II.
One of the things that is happening alongside of that is we're even taking a shifted view of reality in order to, I guess, be all friendly with other religions, and particularly with Islam. And this is a really sad thing because it actually strikes at the heart of what's going on with interreligious relations. This comes from Secretary of State Cardinal Parolin. He downplayed Islamic violence. And of course, we know it's about Nigeria, where there's a very severe persecution against Catholics and Christians there. And I think that Catholic media, Asia Catholic News, went into depth about how this is a religious war. There's clips on the internet about shooting Catholics, about who are not your religion, from Islamics, even telling children to do that. And he says, this is Cardinal Parolin, he downplays this. He says, the violence is, and I quote, not a religious conflict, but rather more a social one. For example, disputes between herders and farmers. We should also recognize that many Muslims in Nigeria are themselves victims of this same intolerance. These are extremist groups that make no distinctions in pursuing their goals. They use violence against anyone they see as an opponent.
This is the thing. Islam, people get very upset with me when I state Islam is not a religion. It is a political ideology. It is spread by the sword. It is not spread through the way Christianity has spread. In fact, the only options for Christians living in Islamic territories are either to convert to Islam, pay a huge fine to practice your faith, work as a slave, leave the country as a refugee, or be killed. What we're looking at is a total difference in the complete understanding of these religions. In Islam, women are inferior to men. This is Surah 434. Men can and should beat their wives in certain circumstances. This is the same Surah. Belief in Jesus Christ as the Son of God is blasphemy. God wills, moral as well as physical evil. What kind of God does that? God permits it, but he doesn't will it in his ordained will. In his permissive will, he allows it. And then it says God does not love unbelievers in Surah 332. So we have to realize that the difference between Islam and Christianity is severe, and Christians were persecuted because of it. If we didn't have Lepanto and the Battle of Vienna, we wouldn't even be here today. It took the spread of finally defending of our faith to be able to maintain the existence of Christianity. Muhammad and his successors were at war with this from the beginning, and they made you convert through the sword, not love. And that's why Islamic reformers end up forming terrorist organizations. It's going back to the Muhammad view. People say, well, there are peaceful Muslims only if you're not following the Quran. And so this is something people don't really truly understand.
this is the other thing. It's the same with Hinduism in India. There's tons of Catholic persecution there, Christian persecution there. And yet this is going on where there is praying together. Just last week, there was a Vatican notice celebrating one of the Hindu celebrations. And in it, they said that this is the Vatican's words, not the Hindu words, but that they worship God. And I really wondered, what God?
In India, the Hindu nationalist government has severely curtailed the rights of any other faith. Nobody's experiencing persecution like the Christians. In fact, over 360 million Christians are suffering around the world. This comes from Vatican News. This is not just some opinion. That Open Doors, they released their annual World Watch list, I think it was like a year or so ago, that 1 out of every 7 Christians in the world is suffering high levels of persecution for their faith. We don't hear this about other religions, or the fact is, doesn't exist with other religions, and we don't hear about it enough with Christians. And just what was it? A couple of years ago was the worst year, in record. And the 20th century is the worst record for persecution. Places like North Korea, no freedom of worship. Owning a Bible is severely punished. North Korea has now replaced Afghanistan as the most dangerous place. And so you got a lot of places: Somalia, Yemen, Eritrea, you got Libya, Nigeria, Pakistan, Iran. These places, you're killed if you're Christian. So where's the dialogue there? Where's the tolerance there? And we're not calling that out enough.
Before we close on this, just give us, what is the proper take that we could have in working toward peace, let's say, and or whatever with other religions? Because this is going on. Obviously, the praying together stuff is really strange, but is there a proper way to do this kind of thing if they want to get into that? Or should that maybe be the role of somebody else?
This is what's interesting, because at no point are we to compromise to the extent of the truth. We can come together, we can talk, but my belief, John Henry, is the evilness that has been labeled with proselytizing inherently is wrong, because proselytizing, if you mean in the sense of forcing people to convert under penalty of death, then yes, obviously that's wrong. But if you are talking about refusing to compromise the truth, that I will stand to the truth, but my love for you is going to inspire me to sit down with you and to show you the truth, then that's what we're called to do. It's not to sit there and compromise the truth. It's to come to the table so that I can show you what the history is, what the facts are, and what the true teaching of the Catholic faith is, the one true church, the only true faith based in Jesus Christ. And so we have to realize here that in the name of not proselytizing, we've adopted compromising of the truth. And this is where I think the root of the problem is. I can dialogue with you, but I'm not going to compromise the truth for you.
Hi everyone, this is John Henry Weston for LifeSite News. We hope you found this video insightful. For more content like this, be sure to check out the links in the description below. You can also follow us on social media to stay updated on the latest news concerning life, faith, family, and freedom. Thanks for watching, and may God bless you.